everybody, and welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a drugstore fragrance. Initially came out in 1974 and then of course re-released. I have probably the newest version, but it's a citrus aromatic and it's called Blue Stratos. So what we'll do, as we always do in all of my individual fragrance reviews, is break down the fragrance into 5 parts. We'll take a look at its box and bottle presentation. I'll go over the fragrance's notes, tell you which ones I can pick up on, talk about its performance in terms of my experience wearing it, and then give it my overall thoughts and of course my overall rating. And if you are new to the channel, before we go into the review, just make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate it. The channel's growing. It's great to see. If you guys have an Instagram, check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel and photos of fragrances from my collection. And as I've been mentioning and will continue to mention, if you're looking to purchase fragrances directly from my collection, just check out my Mercari page. The link to it is in the description. Just getting rid of things I'm no longer wearing to make room for new stuff, and I'd rather have some other people enjoy the fragrances that I'm not utilizing. And also, if you're interested in any of the Aurelius Apparel fitness shirts, the link and the code is in the description, as well as the button downs from Masudo. The link is in the description. No code needed. You just click the link, brings you right to their website directly, and the discount of 40% is already applied. So let's not waste any more time. Let's check out Blue Stratos. All right, guys, let's start off with the presentation. So we'll take a look at the box here. Very simple and very drugstore, man. Just like, you know what, just like that's it. It's got the logo on a Blue Stratos. So, I don't know what that is. If it's like a seagull, Stratos means like, elevated high up, stratosphere, but this is Blue Stratos, original blue. And I thought, is it called original blue? But I only seen it online as Blue Stratos. You can see that there. So here on the back, it's made in the UK by 3 Pairs, the same manufacturer that makes Mandate, at least makes the boxer bottle. I know that maybe that fragrance is made in China, but I didn't see any elements of that here. And you can see they're made, open it up. No French wrapper, cheap box. The bottle is tinted blue, so the liquid is probably clear. Blue Stratos, size and concentration, eau de toilette. There on the bottom, you can see that sticker. So I don't know. Here, we'll check out the distribution. Very cheap neck note, no crimp cover there. White plastic cap, can probably pop right off, but you can hold it in place. Oh, maybe you can't. Okay, actually you can. You can. So we'll check out the distribution there. I have the dry down on this hand. So decent sprayer for a cheapo, not a bad presentation. Okay, as far as the notes go for Blue Stratos, the eau de toilette, in the top, you have C notes, bergamot, Amalfi lemon, and grapefruit. And then in the middle, or the heart of the fragrance, there's just 2 notes. It's geranium and patchouli. And then in the base, there's thyme, basil, mint, musk, woods, and pine. Now, in the opening, I definitely get the C notes, and I'll talk about that later. That's important because there's a freshness to it. I think there's a little bit of floral as it dries down, so maybe that's geranium. I don't get any patchouli, thankfully. And then I get musk and woods. Those are the notes that I pick up on for Blue Stratos. Okay, guys, as far as the performance goes, keep in mind this is an inexpensive drugstore fragrance. The performance is average. Cost-wise, if you are available to go walk into a store, this is probably cheap. If you have to order it from overseas, you'll pay more for the shipping than you will the actual scent. But I'm getting about 3 to 5 hours. Going heavy on clothes is the only way it's going to last long. So it's, it is what it is. It's a cheap scent. So that's, not going to expect much from the performance. But sometimes it may last longer for somebody else. But for me, I'm getting around 5 hours max. Okay, it's time for my overall thoughts on Blue Stratos, the eau de toilette. I think it's a funny named drugstore. I do really like the look of the bottle and the name, and I've been wanting to try this for a long time. And when I got it, there were some things where I was like, oh, okay, it's a typical X, Y, and Z type of classic fougere. But what's unique about this is the opening. I'm gonna get that one more time here because the opening has that ocean note in it. And I think that this might be like the predecessor to all the blue scents that you have nowadays, because this came out initially in the 70s and then it was remade and then remade again. I have the newest one, so but it still says C notes, and there's a hint of blueness in there before it dries down to, say, the talcum powder and musk and woods, but really talcum powder and musk, because it's a blue fresh scent, and then it's like a talcum powder musky classic type of, almost like Brut, except when Brut has that sort of rough anise in the opening, This doesn't have that. This doesn't have the sharpness. So this is a clean scent. It's a perfect casual gym, office, daily. There's nothing that screams formal about this because it isn't inexpensive, but it's a barbershop scent. That's really what it is. They do have body line products. I just have an aftershave here. I shaved with it once since I've got it, but I've been wearing the EDT. You can see this. Utilize that. That's just going to be a splash, but I've put a decent dent in this. This is a 100 ml bottle, and there's. Again, it reminds me of some classic drugstore scents, but overall that opening is unique, and then it becomes sort of more familiar as it goes on too. But it's a good, inexpensive men's clean scent, no more, no less. Okay, guys, it's time for my overall rating for Blue Stratos, the original blue eau de toilette. As far as the presentation goes, the box is what it is. I like the box and the bottle only because of the seagull. At least that's what I think that is. That looks like a seagull, right? And maybe it is some different type of bird, but a seagull I think is funny because they're like one of the most annoying birds ever. But that's what they picked to put on, maybe because it flies over the ocean blue, which makes sense. So 6 out of 10 for the presentation. As far as the performance goes, like I said, between 3 to 5 hours, 5 hours max. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10 just to bump it up an extra point because it's going to lose its points in its performance. And as far as the scent goes, I enjoy the opening. I think that's where it differentiates itself from other classic scents, especially drugstore ones, because a lot of times that talcum powder thing is something that you're going to see in several of them. So several of them. So the fact that there is a little bit of blue, a hint of blue, which was new to that age, you didn't see that back then, is kind of cool. But other than that, it's I would say it's not that different, but it still smells nice, clean, masculine scent. Anyone would like it if they like classics. So 7.5 out of 10 for the scent, which is going to bring the overall rating from me for Blue Stratos, the eau de toilette, to a 6 out of 10. Okay, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for me for my review of Blue Stratos, the eau de toilette for men. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think of the scent? Have you tried it? Have you tried the vintage or the current formulation? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you agree with me? It's sort of in the realm of brut and other fragrances of that nature. Let me know in the comment section. I always appreciate all the interaction. If you haven't done so yet, just make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page. Check out my Mercari page if you want to get anything from my collection. Again, the link is in the description, as well as the fitness shirts from Aurelius Apparel and the button downs from Masudo. The link and codes are in the description. So I wanted to thank you all for hanging out with me today and watching the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.